If your thoughts refuse to quiet, if your heart races long after the world has gone still, then you, my restless friend, are not alone. This place, this voice, this journey is for the sleepless, the curious, and the fearless, for those who find comfort not in silence, but in story. Here, your overthinking mind is not a curse. It is a key, and tonight it unlocks something ancient, something between waking and wonder. Somewhere between midnight and memory stands a library no map can find. Its shelves rise like pillars of shadow, each one breathing softly in the dark. The books are bound not in leather but in silence. The air smells of candle wax and rain. You walk between the aisles, your lantern flickering, the flames stretching thin with each step. On a table of black oak, one book glows faintly under a drift of dust. Its title, etched in silver, The Horseman's Hollow. As you reach for it, the flame trembles. A chill brushes your skin. The candles lean toward the book as if they too are listening. You open the cover, and the world dissolves. Candlelight becomes moonlight. The smell of parchment becomes the scent of autumn leaves. The wooden floor beneath your feet turns to cold earth, and you find yourself standing beneath a vast, pale sky. The air carries the faint sweetness of apples, smoke, and fear. You walk past the crooked fences and slanted gravestones, feeling the hush of stories too old to forget. They say the woods remember everything. The soldiers who marched, the lovers who ran, the souls who never returned. You grip your lantern tighter and step toward the darkened path. As you follow the crooked lane into Sleepy Hollow, the village feels alive in a way you cannot name. Windows shuttered, doors bolted, fences leaning like tired sentinels, all watching. And here begins the story of the Headless Horseman. Long ago, during the Revolutionary War, there was a soldier named Baltus van Tassel's rival, a young Hessian mercenary, fierce and proud, who rode with the Continental Army. They say he was decapitated in battle, a cruel fate delivered on a cold autumn night. But death did not free him. Some stories whisper that his soul could not rest. Anger, vengeance, and a thirst for justice bound him to the world of the living. Now he rides endlessly through the hollow, seeking something lost. Perhaps his head, perhaps revenge, perhaps the fear of anyone foolish enough to wander these roads. The villagers speak of him only in whispers. His horse, black as midnight, is said to snort fire and steam. The clatter of hooves echoes unnaturally, stretching across miles. And though he has no head, some swear they feel the weight of his gaze, chilling the blood even in the bravest hearts. Some nights, it is said, he does not ride to kill, but to remind the hollow, and those who enter it, that some stories never die. As your lantern flickers, the fog thickens. Shadows twist and stretch across the road as if reaching for your feet. Every tree along the lane seems to lean closer, whispering secrets you are not meant to hear. You step onto the forest path, the infamous road between the trees. Here, the horseman is said to appear first. They say he rides swiftly and silently, his silhouette appearing like a shadow that has learned to walk. As you walk, the sound of leaves crunching underfoot seems too loud, too clear, an invitation or a warning. The moonlight filters through skeletal branches, casting fractured patterns on the ground, and then you feel it. The air thickens, the temperature drops, and the forest itself seems to hold its breath. Hoofbeats, they echo from every direction, yet nowhere. A figure forms in the fog, broad shoulders on a horse, a cloak of black trailing like smoke. Where his head should be, nothing. Yet somehow, you feel his presence, a cold, pressing force that makes your heart race. He is not human now. He is memory given form, fear made flesh. His axe glimmers in the dim light, a cruel reminder of mortal fragility. And though he moves, the trees themselves seem to bend aside for him, allowing the legend to pass unhindered. Some stories whisper he collects more than heads. He collects the fear of those who witness him, a shadowy, silent echo that can haunt the hollow for centuries. You step closer to the village center. The buildings lean inward as though conspiring against you. Roofs sag beneath centuries of secrets. Windows, clouded by time, watch you in silence, reflecting only the faint shimmer of your lantern. The air smells faintly of wet leaves and old iron. That scent you can never quite name, heavy and metallic, as if the ground itself remembers what was spilled upon it. A single crow perches atop a crooked fence post. Its feathers shimmer with midnight oil, its eyes glinting a dull, bloody red. It does not caw, it simply watches, patient, knowing. The road beneath your boots creaks and sighs. Every board and cobblestone seems to echo with footsteps that are not yours. Somewhere behind you, a door closes, then another. The sound ripples through the hollow like a warning passed from house to house. The Van Tassel mansion looms ahead, its outline blurred by the swirling mist. Candlelight flickers behind the windows, but the glow feels unnatural, too alive, too restless. The flame seems to move in rhythm with your breath, dimming when you exhale, brightening when you dare to inhale again. From the corner of your vision, something shifts. A shadow stretches across the road, long, deliberate, growing larger with each heartbeat. You lift your lantern slowly, and there, upon the slanted roof of an abandoned house, he stands, the headless horseman. His horse, black as the void between stars, exhales a thick white steam that curls like living smoke. Its mane thrashes against the wind, and those eyes, those impossible, burning eyes, ignite the fog itself with a crimson light. He sits tall, motionless, cloaked in a darkness deeper than the night. No head rests upon his shoulders, yet somehow you feel his gaze pierce through you. Cold, searching, aware. The wind carries a whisper, low and trembling. You should not be here, yet you have come. Your lantern flickers once, twice, then steadies. You can feel your pulse in your throat, in your ears, in your hands, gripping the handle. He is still watching. Or perhaps he is waiting. They say the horseman does not hunt every night. Sometimes he merely returns to see who remembers him, to test if the living still fear the dead. The crow takes flight suddenly, its wings slicing through the air like knives. The horseman's mount lets out a guttural snort. The ground trembles, and in that moment, you are certain you have stepped through time itself. The hollow has drawn you in. The mist thickens, swirling around your feet. The road that led you here has vanished. There is only the mansion ahead, and the rider above. You take a step forward. The village groans, its timbers sighing, its shutters rattling as though the houses themselves disapprove. Windows glow faint red. Doors creak open. Shadows shift inside. There he is again, the horseman. But now he is no longer upon the roof. He stands in the street, his steed's hooves silent on the earth, his form half shrouded in fog. The air hums with something ancient, something angry. You can hear the faint clink of his armor, the distant jingle of his bridle's chains. He lifts his arms slowly. In his hand he carries something heavy, a long rusted blade, dripping with dew and time. He points it toward you. The fog behind him stirs and ripples, revealing faint silhouettes, figures half-formed, half-forgotten, spirits of the hollow, victims of the legend. Their eyes glow dimly, like embers trying to remember how to burn. You feel them watching, waiting, whispering. Then silence. The horseman moves. His steed rears, striking sparks against invisible stone. He gallops past you, swift as shadow, silent as thought. The rush of air chills your bones, tears at your cloak, and extinguishes your light. Darkness. Only the echo of hooves remains, fading, returning, circling. He rides not in a straight line, but in a spiral, an ever-tightening loop around you. You turn slowly. There is nothing. Then a glimmer. A faint, ghostly glow from the mansion's upper window. Inside, a shape moves. A woman in white, holding a candle, her face pale as frost. She seems to be looking for something, or someone. Her lips move, though no sound escapes. Behind her in the mirror, the shadow of the horseman appears again. His hand reaches forward. The candle dies. The mansion falls into darkness. You hear the sound again, the whisper of steel, the distant neigh, the hollow thud of hooves vanishing into the earth. The wind returns, softer now, gentler. The fog begins to thin, the crow has gone. The houses no longer lean so close. And though the air remains cold, something within it feels still, almost peaceful. Perhaps you have passed the test. Perhaps the horseman rides tonight for another soul. You take a breath. The hollow exhales with you. The night folds itself back into quiet. And yet, as you turn to leave, you hear it once more. The sound of hooves, slow, steady, following. You do not run. You do not speak. You simply walk past the leaning house. Past the gates, past the mist. Behind you, the village fades into the woods. The branches seem to part to let you through. The night grows lighter, the stars brighter. But in your heart you know he's still there, waiting, watching. For those who wander too far into Sleepy Hollow never truly leave. They merely carry the legend with them. And sometimes when the wind shifts, when the trees sigh just so, you can still hear it, the echo of a headless rider galloping through eternity. The night folds itself shut like a worn, ancient book. The fog drifts apart and you feel the air grow still, lighter, almost weightless. The last echo of hooves fades into silence, dissolving into the wind like smoke from a dying candle. You are alone again beneath the hollow moon. The ground softens underfoot. The trees lean back, their twisted branches no longer reaching, only watching. The path before you begins to blur, and for a heartbeat you feel as though you are walking not through a forest, but through memory itself. A faint light flickers ahead, a golden glow, steady and warm. The scent of parchment and candle wax returns. The mist curls away. You have returned to the library of forgotten dreams. The great oak doors closed quietly behind you as though they were never truly open. The silence here is rich and alive. It hums softly between the shelves. Your footsteps echo through the marble floor, swallowed quickly by velvet shadows. The candles tremble, welcoming you back. You look down at your hands. The book you carried still rests within them, its cover now warm, pulsing faintly as if it remembers the story you've just lived. You trace the silver letters once more. The horseman's hollow. The book shivers, then closes on its own. The whispering stops. A deep exhale fills the room, as though the library itself has been holding its breath. You set the book gently upon the shelf, where it slides neatly into place, and for just a second another spine glows beside it. Dracula's Case, a title etched in crimson and gold. The edges of its pages seem to breathe. From somewhere deep in the stacks you hear a distant flutter of wings, a low, steady heartbeat, and the faintest scent of iron and roses. But the library is vast, and there are other whispers too. To your left, a thin book wrapped in salt-stained leather hums softly, the sirens of the Black Sea. Above you, a tome bound in marble dust tilts forward just enough to reveal its name, The Catacombs Beneath Paris. Around you, the shelves stir like a sleeping beast dreaming of forgotten centuries. You can almost feel the stories watching you, waiting to be chosen. The clock above the doorway ticks once, though it has no hands, and in that silence, you feel it. Curiosity, wonder, the quiet thrill of what comes next. You exhale, for now, the hollow is behind you. The horseman rides on without you. The library hums softly, like a lullaby written for dreamers who wander too far. You place your lantern upon the table. Its light pools warmly across the ancient wood. Somewhere, another book begins to glow. And you know, when next you return to the Library of Forgotten Dreams, a new legend will awaken. Perhaps you'll open Dracula's Case, or follow the echoes beneath Paris, or listen to the sirens calling across the darkened sea. Until then, rest, dream, and let the stories keep watch over you. The library is never truly closed. It only waits, patient, eternal, for your next visit.